What's going on, everyone? So the New Orleans Pelicans have essentially their entire roster available for trade. One of the guys I really want to see the Lakers target is Trey Murphy. Now, I do think he is less likely than, say, like a Herb Jones, and then just because of his age, I really think it boils down to what do the Pelicans want to do? What are the Pelicans looking for? Are they looking to basically anyone over the age of 25? They just want to sell, again, a Herb Jones, CJ McCollum, DeJounte Murray, right? Do they just basically want to hit the reset button, kind of retool around Misi and again, a Trey Murphy and, Hawkins and all these other young guys and try to recoup as many assets and, use the draft picks and all that stuff? Or are they a team that's looking to like, hey, no, we want to retool, right? Do you want to clear salary space, right? Because Trey Murphy is going into a brand new extension, right? He's going to start making $25 million a year as soon as next year, right? He's starting a new contract extension next year, 2025, 2026. He'll be making $25 million. Then it goes to 27, 29, and $31 million. So talk about a guy that, again, is about to make a ton of money. So do the Pelicans look at it as like, hey, we'd love to get off of some of these salaries, some of these long-term things, just kind of hit the reset button here, kind of, clear the deck a little bit. Hey, Lakers come in, give some value. But again, given his age, 24 years old, he'll be 25 in a couple weeks. I do think it'll be a little harder for the Lakers to go and land a guy like him because, again, one, I think several teams will be after him. Two, I think the Pelicans would probably want to keep him. Now, he is coming off of injury, and there is a concern about that because he did have a injury to his rotator cuff in his shooting shoulder. Right. So again, is he able to kind of be the guy that he once was? Is he able to knock down the three with the consistency that he was prior? Right. Is he going to be the same player? Right. Or is he a guy that kind of, now has to kind of reinvent himself a little bit? Right. So there could be a little bit of a risk, which again could maybe play into the Lakers' benefit. Right. As far as the trade goes, maybe you don't have to give up as much for him as you would have otherwise had he been healthy. Right. Pelicans were just decimated by injuries regardless. Right. They were a team that, basically, if you wore a Pelicans jersey, you were hurt. So I can't really knock him, but again, he's a guy 6'8", 6'9" size, can slot in, the 3, the 4, defend multiple positions, play multiple positions. He's a guy that can, on any given night, go light it up, right? Shoots the 3 ball well, can defend well. Right? These are the kind of guys you need. In a perfect world, Lakers could end up landing. I would essentially sell whatever you have to if you could land Herb Jones and Trey Murphy. Like if you told me you could get both of those guys, Austin Reeves, Dalton Connect, the first 3 picks, whatever you have to do, give that up because literally you could slot those 2 guys alongside Luka and LeBron, go get a center, and you're in the green. You're probably one of, if not the best teams in all of basketball at that point. Because now you have 2 sizable, versatile defensive wings that can defend 1 through 5 and knock down the open 3 with some consistency. And then you have LeBron James that can still do everything LeBron can do, and then Luka Doncic that could do everything Luka can do, and then just go get a serviceable center at that point, right? You'd be Clint Capella at that point. I don't care, right? In a perfect world, if you could get Misi, Trey Murphy, and Herb Jones, I would sell everything, right? Like, hey, here's all 5 pick swaps. Here's the one first we have. Here's the 55th pick. Here's Dalton Connect. Here's Austin Reeves. Hey, you want something else? Hey, can go get you a burger? Like, whatever. I get that because now at that point you got your franchise center and you got 2, 3. I mean, you could literally start those 3 alongside Luka and LeBron. I think you're one of the better teams in all of basketball, right? But point is, getting a little away from myself here a little bit, but Trey Murphy is a guy that I do think would make all the sense in the world for the Lakers, right? He's a guy that could slot in at the 3, go get a serviceable center, right? Let's say whoever, Daniel Gafford, Nick Claxton. Let's use Nick Claxton as an example, right? Now you have that versatile defensive center, top of a versatile defensive wing, top of LeBron James, and we saw the level of defense that he can get to when need be, right? Now you're starting to really put that roster, really starting to put those players and pieces around a LeBron James and Luka Doncic that now kind of resembles a more competent team. All right, now you got a guy who can legit knock down the 3 ball with some consistency. Again, you'd have to pony up $25 million, but he's young enough to be a guy, again, that you could have for the next 8 to 10 years. All right, so now you have a foundation piece who's also locked up for, at most he'll make his $31 million on the final year of his deal, right? But again, the salary cap is going to keep increasing. So he's on what I think would be a reasonable contract for a legit 3-and-D wing, especially in today's market. And for teams that's what every team wants, are guys like Trey Murphy, right? And so if you can convince a team like the Pelicans to maybe, trade him to you, I think that would be an ideal scenario. Trey Murphy is everything that you want. But what kind of production is he giving? What kind of play can he give you on a regular basis? Well, he had a very good year. So diving into it, 53 games played, 51 games starting. Now, there is a question, like Herb Jones, I've talked about, best ability is availability. Herb Jones, he played 20 games last year, but he's played like 77 games every year outside of that. He's averaging like 75 games a season, somewhere in that range, right? But you look at a Trey Murphy, 62 games, 79 games, that's great. 57 games, 53 games. The last 2 years, he's averaged around, 55 games a season. That's not great. But 53 games played last year, 51 games started, 35 minutes per game. So gave you 15.8 field goal attempts per game. Got a lot of opportunity because, again, like the entire team was hurt for the Pelicans, right? Like literally their entire team. So he was getting a lot more shot attempts, a lot more opportunity than he would have otherwise. But again, 15.8 points per attempts per game, 45.4% from the field total. He shot 36.1% from three-point range on 8.3 attempts. Couple things, though. He's a career 38.3% three-point shooter. Last year's 38%. The year before that, 40.6%. This was his worst three-point shooting season of his career, and it was still 36%, by the way, which isn't terrible, right? But that was his worst by a good margin. Again, by like 2% was the worst three-point shooting season of his career. However, again, Pelicans were entirely injured. So a lot of his threes were self-created threes. Like they didn't have that true setup guy. You slot him alongside Luka Doncic and LeBron James and the quality of looks that they're going to provide, I think he gets back to being a 40% three-point shooter. Talked about Herb Jones. Herb Jones, I don't necessarily think will be 40. I mean, he's had a 40% season, so maybe he could get back there. But I was saying, can he get to 37, 38% from three-point? No. Trey Murphy, I am incredibly confident. I think he can get to being a 40% three-point shooter on this Lakers team. Because again, like Dorian Finney-Smith even talked about it, right? That like, dude, we're getting wide open looks. I mean, we're having time to fix sandwiches and like, get our hair cut and, go make some emails, respond to some messages. Like they have all the time in the world. So you give a guy like a Trey Murphy who has shown the ability to shoot the three ball. Keep in mind, he did have surgery in his rotator cuff on his shooting shoulder. So is he able to kind of get past that? It's a question mark. But if he can, I think he's back to a 40% three-point shooter, and I think he'd be excellent. I think that'd be huge for Lakers. But again, 36.1%. Two-point range, 55.6% on 7.6 attempts. EFG of 55%. Free throw shooting, 88.7%. He's a career 87.5% free throw shooter. So he's a very good free throw shooter on 4.3 attempts. Averaged 5 rebounds. Will be nice, round up, 4 assists, 1.1 steals, a block, and 21 points per game. He is a career 14-point-a-game guy. So again, a guy that had a very good year, and a guy that, again, is still very young, very talented, can create for himself, create a little bit for others, right? Guy that can knock down the three ball, be a catch and shoot guy, but also, again, at any point can put the ball on the deck and go create a little bit for himself. Knock down, operate in the mid-range, right? Like he's a guy that is very versatile. You can slot it in either forward position, right? He would be ideal, right? He's the kind of guy that the Lakers need, right? Versatile defensive guy that can get after it, defend multiple positions, and knock down the three, right? The more guys like that you can get, the better. Again, I think it'd be a little difficult, but if you can pull that off, that would just be chef kiss. Obviously, again, perfect world, you get Herb Jones and you get a Trey Murphy. But again, Trey Murphy, 6'8", 6'9". He does have a 7'1" wingspan, so he's got good size, good length, right? Which is what you want, right? Like one of the things that I want the Lakers to get is I want them to get versatile athletes, right? I want them to get some athleticism, particularly out on the perimeter, guys that can defend multiple positions, guys that can play multiple positions. But you also you want some size. You still want to maintain that size and that length if you can. And I think that Trey Murphy is a guy that gives you all of that. Gives you the size and the length, gives you the athleticism, gives you the defense, gives you the 3-point shooting, right? Like he is the ideal type of candidate and player that the Lakers need on this roster. So look, he's one of those guys, whatever you have to pony up, I would pony up. I would trade Austin Reeves for him if I had to. Because again, he's young enough to continue to have the upside and potential. Right? He's like, 2-3 years younger than Austin Reeves. Right. So, and he's giving you the same point production on like the same field goal attempts. Right. So like, again, he's a guy that as a third option in theory should give you roughly the same thing, but also can defend multiple positions, 6'8" inside. Like you can't teach any of that stuff. Right. So again, he's a guy, in my opinion, whatever you got to pony up to get, you go get. But as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Feel what your thoughts. Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Kind of mix in the middle. Love to hear it. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.